Well, it's all looking a bit tired, the EVA foam. The cats enjoy it too much. I think it's time to change something. A friend of mine lays some artificial teak on different boats. I might have a chat to him, see what products are around. I know the good stuff is quite expensive, but I don't have very much to do, so... G'day, well it's Jock here from Balo Marine. I'm looking at the artificial teaks and there's certainly plenty when you open it up on Google. The ones to watch out for, you don't really want the EVA foam because it's a cheap, inferior product. It's soft than that. Now my friend Nathan had a roll of this that they were given to trial. I don't know what it's made of actually, but the top of it certainly looks like teak. It's wooden, you can see there. It's got a little tongue and groove on the side. And they can slot together and you glue them in place or heat weld them or however you do it. I'll certainly only be gluing it. So we'll see how it goes. So the glue I got is a Gorilla Glue, poly blah 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 something product. Said to damp the area first, so I've just used a little paintbrush here. I'm just going to dab a bit of water in there and then I'll run a bead of the glue along. I'll push them firmly together and I'll put some weight on top of that. And that'll hold them in place and we'll see how it goes out. I did get some instructions of what to do. But I don't know if I recall all of them. So we'll see how it goes. I am quite impressed with this product though. It certainly looks like the real thing. I think that it's called Elasto Teak. It might not really be properly on the market yet. But I learn a lot during this process, just about how the product responds to various things. And so these are the areas I want to do, just those little steps there on the outsides, and depending on how much I've got, I'll do the front anchor hatch. Fortunately, I can use the current EVA pads as templates. Otherwise you have to make up some nice new templates. So they're the two that I stuck together. They're pretty good. It's only like 100 mil wide, so anything wider than that you need to stick them together. So looking at it up close, it does look very wood-like. It's got little hairs on it. You can sand it, you can cut it. I did try drilling it. It didn't really go like wood, but it's marvellous product. So I cut it rough and then I checked it again with my template. And I checked it with the place there, and then I went about just sanding it. I used a little mouse sander first of all, which not so great. 80 grit is what it's recommended to use to sand this product. If the weather's cold, it sands really, really well. As it warms up, it doesn't get so good. And vice versa, if you need to cut it or anything, when the weather's cold or the product is cold, it is quite difficult to cut. It does cut for Stanley knife, but you need quite a bit of pressure. But whereas if it's been sitting in the sun, it'll just cut so easily, but it won't really sand at all. So yeah, so I think cutting in the sun and sanding in the dark or in the cold. Okay, so I got it pretty close, and then I was just trying to use a ruler as a bit of a straight edge just to get my my straight lines nice and straight. Get off the curves any way you could. And I did the other little pads as well. Now the issue with the way I did it was there was quite a bit of glue seeped through onto the side that'll be facing up, and I was using a blade to get rid of all that, and this took a long time. I modified my technique and I would tape it prior to gluing it together, and that eliminated a lot of the leakage. It was a much better result. So I got it pretty much how I think I wanted it. I put it into position and drew a line around there, and then I mask up to that line, and then I'll apply the adhesive within the taped area. Now this is a poly product. It's a Selleys 252. Quite expensive, but yeah, apparently the bee's knees. This will do the job just fine. Now once you get it into place, you haven't got much time to move it, so you've got to be careful there. And try to roll it out from the inside to the outside just to eliminate any air bubbles. So these are the other little steps here. Little pads there, put a weight on. I just stood there for a day and a night. Couple of things that really need to be noted. Prior to gluing it down, just leave it lying out in the sun for a couple of hours, and it will get nice and floppy and supple, and will be much easier to work with, not so stiff. And this poly product that I'm using as the adhesive, definitely leave that in the sun for a few hours. When I first tried to use it, I broke 2 corking guns. It was just too much resistance, and they just collapsed in my hands. Very cheap ones, admittedly. And then the next one I got, it worked fine, and I couldn't work out why, and that was because it was in the sun. So yeah, leave those in the sun, or even put them in front of a heat source, a blow heater or something, which I did for about half an hour prior to using it. It was so much easier to work with because it's a very, very thick product. I've taped the edges down after I stuck it down. Applied the weights again. Each time I did a bit different. This is for the other side of the anchor hatch. Now I mocked it up first of all in the back cockpit, and then I glued them all up. You can't see it there, but I've taped all those seams where I've joined them. And here we go again with the 252. You can see I've masked up the area where the latch was for the anchor hatch, and I didn't really know what to do with that. It was just an odd position. So I just cut it out and sort of made it up as I go. So you just spread this out with a little trowel, and a notch trowel. This one that I'm using is a 4mm notch. Just spread that out as you would like a tile adhesive. Make sure you get nice coverage of all areas. Put it down. You see how floppy it is because of the heat. I didn't have a proper roller. You might have seen on the piece before that I was using a can, and that's what I'm using here too. A can of baked beans. It's a superfood. I taped it up. This side I was dubious as to how it would work because it's curved at the front of the hatch here to allow the chain to egress out. And yeah, I didn't know what to do because just teak go around bends and that. Will that just assure everyone that it's fake? Once again, I'm just scraping the glue off it. I was just always doing that. Look, I'm even out in the middle of the harbour doing it. Lucky for autopilot, eh? Unbelievable. Many hours spent doing that because I wanted to try to do a decent job for once. It's starting to look pretty schmick. Now, because of the way I joined it, it was missing some black caulking in a few spots on the corners. And some of the joins, the caulking looked a bit sus. So I taped all that up and I actually used that same 252 adhesive as caulk. And that came up all right. When all that was dry, taped around the edges again, and I applied some white caulking around the outside of the pad. This ensures no water gets underneath it that can damage your adhesive, and it really makes it look schmick. Some people use like a black caulk there. I have found and been recommended to use the white because it blends in better, and yeah, that's the finished result there. I'm pretty pleased with it. So that's the elastic. There's the before and afters. Beautiful. The whole tedious process though was sending me a bit mad. Well, this is Jock, the giant prawn from Balo Marine, saying thanks for watching. Please turn your notifications on, like, subscribe and share and comment. All this sort of stuff will get us going. It's all that YouTube understands. If you've got any questions, I'd love to help you out. There's probably many things I didn't say on the video for whatever reason. And yeah, I'll just peel myself, take out the food tube, and I'll be out of here. As a giant prawn, I do have a peel, and I'm gonna get cooked now. Remember, boats are like onions. Actually, but I'm a talking prawn. So turn your notifications on, like, subscribe, and well, thanks for watching. Hope you picked something up off that. That's how I sort the elastic. Big learning curve, and I'm really keen to give it another go actually. But I am a giant prawn, so thanks a lot for watching. As the giant prawn that I am, expressing my sincere well, thanks for watching that video. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.
Peel yourself, take out the picture video. Sorry, babe, that was good. I like that one, sorry. No coffee.